I'm all-pro cornerback Richard Sherman, and when I'm not chasing receivers, I'm trying to keep up with my kids. That's why Alberto beef jerky is my favorite snack. Alberto is delicious, lean beef, slow cooked and seasoned to perfection, all natural and all delicious. Alberto beef jerky is protein-packed, so I can keep up with my busy. Raiden, stop grabbing your sister's hair.
Alberto beef jerky. You get out what you put in.
Refers to Alberto's all-natural line of beef jerkies. Minimally processed, no artificial ingredients.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
I'm Stephen A. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do every weekday over the airways of ESPN Radio. That's 710 ESPN LA. That's 98.7 FM, New York City, and, of course, nationwide over the airways of ESPN Radio, Sirius XM style, Channel 80. Number to call up, as always, is 866-729-ESPN. That's 866-729-3776. Jam-packed show coming your way. We are coming at you live from Radio Row in Las Vegas, Nevada, site of tomorrow's exhibition. Floyd Money Mayweather going up against Conor McGregor. The boxing world colliding with the UFC. We shall see what happens. None of us can wait. I'm waiting for this. Listen, let me just be very, very clear. I don't expect this to be much of a competition. I expect this to be an annihilation. I expect that Floyd Money Mayweather will sit up there and literally pick Conor McGregor apart. I just don't have any doubt in my mind. The way I look at it is very, very simple. You are a UFC fighter. You are a guy that's accustomed, even though you're a striker, and all of your TKOs or KOs have come via that way. You can kick, you can wrestle, you can fend off jiu-jitsu tactics and beyond. You can use elbows, you can fend off elbows. You can do an awful lot of things. There's no question about that. But in the end, what it comes down to is that you're only allowed to use your fist. You're only allowed to use your hands. And Conor McGregor has never done that as a boxer in his life. I'm not talking about stepping in the octagon where guys use various tactics and you got guys that really aren't boxers but know how to strike. I'm talking about literally the mastery of boxing, the art of boxing. You're going up against, and by the way, you ain't just going up against anybody. You're going up against a guy universally recognized as one of the greatest ever and arguably the greatest defensive fighter in the history of the sport. And listen, what I'm asking you to do is consider something and take this into consideration. As a defensive fighter, for those of you out there who swear you know boxing, can you tell me one person who definitively is a better defensive fighter than Floyd Money Mayweather in the history of the sport? Anybody. Take your time. I'll wait. Take your time. I'll wait. Because the fact of the matter is, that ain't the case. Pernell Whitaker comes close, but that's about it. I can't think about anybody. I can't think of anybody else. I really, really can't. We can act like we know, but we don't know. You can't think of somebody definitively that is better than Floyd Money Mayweather as a defensive fighter. And you're Conor McGregor, no matter how measured you are. No matter how measured you are, you're Conor McGregor and you go into the ring against one of the best ever. And far be it for me to put it this way, because listen, I respect the hell out of Conor McGregor. He's a champion. And I respect UFC fighters. I respect any pugilist who takes their profession seriously. I don't respect guys who show up with pot bellies months before they got a fight. I don't give a damn that you don't have a fight right now. If you are a professional boxer, if you are a professional MMA fighter, you're supposed to be in shape at all times. You play in a sport. You participate in a sport where there's a license to assault you. And if you can't take that seriously, you can't be trusted with anything. Conor McGregor, I give him credit. Always in shape, always ready to go. Floyd Money Mayweather, I give him credit. Always in shape, always ready to go. But you in Floyd's domain. You ain't in your own. And when I look at it from that perspective, what is there to talk about? There's nothing to talk about here. Now, I'm not wasting my time because I'm in Vegas, and I love the view. The view is lovely. It really, really is. So I'm in Vegas, and life is nice. But I will tell you right now, This isn't a match. It's an exhibition. I'll give Conor McGregor a 1% chance. Anybody with punching power, you give him a chance. Because you could be falling backwards, about to fall asleep and swing a punch and catch somebody. Who knows how lucky you can be. But in the end, what it comes down to, this man has gone down an alley that he ain't expected to come out of. And he can say Floyd ain't built for this. Actually, it's the other way around because it's a boxing match. Floyd wouldn't be built for this if it was anything else. Conor McGregor would beat him any other way. But in boxing, I just cannot see it. I want to be on the record here. If Floyd Money Mayweather loses this fight, it will be the biggest upset in boxing history. You can't be 49-0. You cannot be 49-0 and turn around and lose to a dude that never fought, that has never fought professionally as a boxer. You just can't do it. I don't care what Max and everybody else tries to come up with. You can't do it. You cannot do it. You cannot lose to somebody that never fought. It cannot happen. And I'm telling you that right now. It's just that simple. You can make it complicated if you want to. You're wasting your time. Floyd Money Mayweather cannot lose this fight. If Floyd Money Mayweather loses this fight, it'll be the biggest upset in boxing history. I can't think of anything that would be bigger than this. This would be bigger than Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson. Or any other upset that you could come up with. I don't see it. Iran Barkley knocking out Tommy the Hitman Hearns. I don't see it. I don't see it. 866-729-ESPN is always the number to call up. That's 866-729-3776. That's just the way I feel about it. I wish I felt differently. I wish you could give me something differently. I hope it is an exciting fight. I'd have mad respect. I'd have mad respect for Conor McGregor. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I know he's bigger. I know he's stronger. But are his punches, will his punches be as precise and crisp? Will he be capable of doing those things? Does he have that in him? That is my question. I don't think he does, simply because it's a boxing match. And for those out there who say, well, Floyd doesn't have any power. Well, Floyd evidently has enough power to keep people off him. Floyd doesn't take risk, so he'll hit you, hurt you, and keep you off of him and play it safe. He'll do that. But if he's got enough power to keep you off of him, what is he going to be able to do with a guy that's going to be target practice? Conor McGregor got hit by Nate Diaz before Nate Diaz choked him out. He caught Conor McGregor with a right. What are you going to do if you can't evade a punch from Nate Diaz? And I respect the hell out of Nate Diaz. We talking UFC, though. This is boxing. If you can't avoid a punch from Nate Diaz, what are you going to do? What are you going to do against one of the greatest ever? I don't see it. I wish I could. I just don't. I really, really, really just don't see it. 866-729-ESPN. That's 866-729-3776. Remember, we are coming at you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, site of tomorrow night's exhibition between Floyd Money Mayweather and Conor McGregor. Who do you got and why? Have you seen a greater defensive fighter than Floyd Money Mayweather in the history of boxing? If Floyd Mayweather was to lose this fight, which would be nothing short of a miracle and divine intervention, would it not go down as the biggest upset in the history of boxing? Those are my questions for the moment. Where are your answers? You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio.
Want to be a part of the show? Hit Stephen A. up weekdays from 1 to 3 Eastern at 866-729-3776.
Okay, keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
I want to show you my first ever painting.
All right.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Oh, That's a lot of colors and shades.
So be honest. What do you think?
Well, I like how if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Here, why don't I hold your paintbrush while you call them?
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
At some point in time, listen, I would love to sit up there and tell you that this is going to be a competitive fight. Look, I'm here. I don't mind being in Vegas, but I don't want to waste my time either. But the reality is clear. In the end, you cannot allow this to even be a competitive fight if you're Floyd Money Mayweather. I mean, listen, the damage, and I might be alone in this, and I might be alone in this thinking, but the damage that this could do to the sport of boxing, I don't think can go unnoticed. You're 49-0, you're undefeated. You got young lions, Terrence Crawford at the junior welterweight division, Errol Spence Jr. and Kell Brook and Keith Thurman, even Danny Garcia to a lesser degree, who I like a lot. You got these guys. If you turn around and you, not deciding to fight those guys, decide instead to fight a guy that has never fought as a professional boxer before, I don't know how you get around that if you lose or if you struggle. I just don't know. I wish I could feel differently. I wish I could see differently. I just cannot. I just can't. 866-729-ESPN. It's 866-729-3776. Let's go to the phones. Let's see here. Let's go to Josh in Queens. You're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A. What's up, baby?
Talk to me, man.
McGregor in 30.
What? All right, what's your justification? You picked Conor McGregor in 3 rounds. You sound ignorant. Give me your explanation.
Now, let me tell you why. He's bigger. He's stronger. He's a southpaw. He's got the reach. And we're looking at a diminished Floyd Mayweather at 40 years old. He's the same age as Tom Brady. So I'm picking McGregor in 3. If it goes past 4, 5, 6 rounds, that's where Mayweather makes his
You know what? You want me to tell you what my problem with your argument is? I didn't hear you mention anything about skill. I heard you mention nothing about skill.
I believe that the fact that McGregor is an MMA fighter can actually play out as an advantage. Mayweather has beaten 49 boxers in his career. McGregor's going to come in there with some unorthodox movements, especially. So what you doing?
What you trying to tell me? McGregor's going to fake like he's going to kick him and punch him? Did you talking about something like that?
But McGregor isn't going to come in there and move like the other 49 boxers that Mayweather has fought. He's going to come in there with unorthodox movements, and all it takes is one hit to the chin, and you never know. If it goes past 4, 5, 6 rounds, Mayweather got it. But I'm taking McGregor in 3.
Okay. Appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. Let's go to Dennis in New Jersey. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Dennis? Dennis, you're live with Stephen A. What's up? Bye, Dennis. Let's go to Roy in Missouri. You're live with Stephen A. Talk to me, Roy.
How you doing there, Stephen A?
I'm all right. Go ahead, buddy.
I just want to put it on record. Didn't Rocky Marciano fight old Joe Louis? I'll take your comment off there. Thank you.
Yes. What's your point? I mean, that's an idiotic comparison. An old Joe Louis is still somebody that had boxing experience. My issue with Conor McGregor is that he's never boxed professionally. And my issue with that is about the process. The fact that let me tell you something right now. I got a producer in New York in studio. His name is Jonathan Winthrop. You know what? John might have a decent jump shot. Okay, go on the court and go up against LeBron James. Go ahead. Or go up against Steph Curry. Go ahead. We made a big deal out of LeVar Ball swearing up and down that his son Lonzo was better than Steph Curry. Lonzo was starring at UCLA, and we thought that was blasphemous. But we're going to be okay with a guy that's never boxed in his life going up against one of the best ever in Floyd Money Mayweather? What sense does that make? I still say it's a 1% chance because anybody can land a punch and luck up. But that's the only chance that I give Conor McGregor. I repeat, the absolutely, positively only chance. Andrew in New Jersey, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me on. With the McGregor-Mayweather, what kind of moves do you think McGregor's going to come with? I mean, do you think he's going to be unorthodox? Is he going to, maybe put some movement into it, just, I don't know, from MMA moving so much? I mean, and how do you think that's going to play out?
You're talking kind of fast, man. I can't understand you. What exactly are you asking me?
How do you think McGregor is going to approach this? Do you think he's going to, be more conservative?
No. See, he's measured, and he's a thinker like Mayweather is to some degree. Chael Sonnen pointed that out yesterday on First Take, on a primetime special we did. I think that McGregor is measured, and McGregor is going to be careful. The problem is that Floyd isn't an aggressor. In order for McGregor to make the fight, he has to be the aggressor. He has to come for Floyd. He can't beat Floyd on the outside. He's got to come inside. He's got to make it rough and rugged. He's got to make it a tussle. That's the chance that he has. And that's why I see him getting knocked out, because the only way for him to win is trying to come at Floyd. And that's what's going to be, that's going to be the end.
Okay. And one more thing. Do you think his emotions will ever, get the better of him during the fight? Like maybe towards the end, if he's not doing so well, he'll surge or maybe anything like that?
I think that if Conor McGregor is getting humiliated, I don't think his ego can take that. You can lose, but if you're getting embarrassed, like, for example, if Floyd starts tapping him on the shoulder and saying, look, I'm behind you, or Floyd sitting there and talking to announcers at ringside while beating him up, I think that that's what's going to be hard for him to take. Anything else, I think he'll man up and just do the best he can. But I think that Conor, is not in his personality to be able to take the humiliation that will come his way. That is going to be too much for him. I don't see that being something that works for him.
All right. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Appreciate the call. Thank you so much. 866-729-ESPN. Let's go to Matt in Cali. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Matt?
Hey, how are you, Stephen A?
I'm all right. Thank you for calling.
I love boxing and I love MMA, and I'm kind of wondering why the intrigue isn't more on, can Conor survive Floyd Mayweather? Because as a boxing fan, I understand that Floyd Mayweather is probably going to go down as maybe one of the greatest of all time. I think Conor is going to have his work cut out for him, and I think the intrigue is more about, can he go 12 rounds? Can he take the punishment? Can an MMA fighter go into another sport?
Well, let me answer your question. Let me answer your question directly. You know why that's not the angle people are taking?
I understand
because Floyd hasn't had a knockout in 5 years. So because he hasn't had a knockout in 5 years, people are looking at him, and who would be surprised if Floyd went the distance? People don't get surprised by that in this day and age. We expect a knockout because we expect Conor McGregor to be target practice. But we haven't really entertained the possibility of Conor being somebody that literally can take the punches. He just can't do anything about it, but he can take the punches. Floyd hasn't had a knockout in 5 years. That's why people are not looking at it that way.
I don't think that is going to be enough for me, because I realize there's a lot on the line as far as the representation or the reputation of the UFC and what this could do if Conor does not perform. And to me, that's very, very serious, considering that John Jones just got caught for
I completely
steroids.
disagree with you. Conor McGregor's stature within the UFC is not going to be hurt by this at all. Not even a little bit. You've never boxed in your career, and you're going up against arguably the best ever, who's 49-0. Conor McGregor is playing with house money. He has nothing to lose. Floyd Money Mayweather has everything to lose. Everything to lose. And I think that is the situation right there. Conor McGregor has nothing to worry about in terms of his reputation. I got to go. I appreciate the call.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! Return of the Mac. I'm not just thinking about me. I'm thinking about a two-time champion in the NBA, a national champion in college basketball, a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest players in NBA history, the one and only Isaiah Thomas. the businessman extraordinaire. I might like to add that. Well, talk to me about what is this right here, Isaiah Thomas? What am I holding in my hand?
Well, you are holding, Sherlon Champagne. I was named Champagne Producer of the Year, and just partnered with MGM and Bellagio, and the champagne will be debuted in all of their restaurants. You can stop by Hyde. You can stop by Picasso. You can stop by all of their spots out here in MGM. And also, just partnered with the Big Three. So the champagne going to be popped in their locker room with ice cubes. So, we doing quite well, Stephen A.
It just amazes me because...
And when you talk about the Mac, you can call me Goldie.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get on him a little bit because, see, what we have here is a guy that he's got the champagne going on, the whole stuff. And I respect it. I'm not mad about it at all. But I see it's going to be in locker rooms, at MGM Grand. I didn't see nothing. I didn't see anything come to my house. I didn't see anything. And I'm your boy. But I ain't getting none of that. What is up?
Well, they say the people that you love, you always overlook them sometimes. ain't that to say you always hurt the one you love?
Unbelievable. But I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing this? How long have you been venturing into this business?
Actually, we've been in the States literally only 6 to 7 months, and just through word of mouth, the champagne has been blowing up. I mean, everyone's been asking for it, and we've done no advertising, very little social media. And
why? Why haven't you done that in this day and age?
Well, really just haven't had time because everybody's asking. And the good product, the juice sells itself inside the bottle.
Right.
Sherlon family, again, been making champagne since 1788. The best champagne makers in the world, the official champagne of the French government. And, when you put a good product out, all people do is they taste it or they wear it, they see it, and then people start talking about it. So through word of mouth, the heat has been on and the champagne has been popping.
And I also know that even though you do this stuff and you're in a lot of different ventures, just like I remember you were part of being the largest popcorn distributor, for crying out loud. I said, you worth a lot of money, bro. I mean, you worth a lot of money, man. I mean, when we going to talk ownership of a team or something like that? You seem to have a lot of money. Why are you not doing these things?
Well, I'm doing all right. When I was a kid, all I wanted was a car that I could drive.
Right.
Be able to put some gas in it.
Right.
Nice little apartment and some food in the refrigerator. I got that. So I'm good.
Isaiah Thomas right here with Stephen A. Live from Vegas. Chilling with the family right here. Let's get to this fight. First of all, you staying for the fight? You gonna stay here? Because I know you're doing some things tomorrow night. Being honest,
I gotta go back for the Liberty because the Liberty is playing. Actually, they playing tonight and also they playing Sunday.
Okay.
We fighting it. For first place, and we won 6 in a row. Our girls, our women are really playing well right now. We got a chance, Stephen A. We got a chance to win it this year.
Okay. One of the things, let's stay with that for a quick second because I'm critical of the WNBA in this regard.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good league. I think it's a well-run league. I appreciate the intent. My whole thing is this, and I've said this, and I'm not trying to be. Listen, I got 4 older sisters. Okay, I'm not trying to be misogynistic or anything like that. All I'm saying is this: when you look at a sport, the men have theirs, and obviously men should watch the women's sports too. But I think it's incumbent upon the women to support the sport, to support their sports more. Am I wrong in thinking that way? There's plenty of women out here. You're influencing elections. You're elevating the profile of the National Football League because more women are watching the National Football League than ever before, which has contributed greatly to their bottom line. Why aren't more women supporting women's sports? Am I wrong for thinking about that?
No, you're not wrong at all. You're 100% right. And actually, when you look at the WNBA, it's the longest running professional women's sports league in the world. 21 years. And we've gone through some of our problems in terms of venues and media and everything else. But for the most part, the support of women, who are 52% of the population, have 82% of the purchasing power in the U.S. The bet that the WNBA is making, which I agree with, is that women will start supporting their sport more. And not that they'll turn off from the men's sports, but they will come and start watching women and start watching the WNBA play because the numbers say they will.
Isaiah Thomas right here with Stephen A. The Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. couple more questions before I let you get on out of here. A, who you got winning tomorrow night? How and why?
I got Mayweather, and the reason why I got him is because, A, he's always supported the NBA, and he's always supported me. And so I root for him as a person. I root for him as a fighter. And, whenever you look at a NBA game, even some WNBA games, he show up. He's always supported all sports, so we support him, and I'm supporting him. Now, I got him winning the fight because this is what he do. He's used to using his two weapons, his left hand and his right hand. McGregor, he's basically got 8 weapons. He's got, 2 feet, 2 knees, elbows, and then he's got, his hands. Well, you taking 6 of his weapons away, and now he only can use his right hand and his left hand, and there's no one better at slipping, ducking, moving than Mayweather that we've seen. So I think it's going to be difficult for McGregor to get punches in.
From a principled perspective, one of the things that I continuously lament about this fight, and it's the only thing I lament, I hate the fact that a guy 49-0, universally recognized as arguably the best ever, has allowed someone that has never fought to be in the ring with him. I understand the money, and that's why this is happening.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason this is happening. But I'm talking from a principled perspective. That's like some high school kid getting on the court with LeBron or Kevin Durant. Who told you you've earned the privilege to be in a competitive platform with them or against them? To that, a champion like yourself says what?
You always say no to that. And the reason why you always turn that down, because there's always that one chance that somebody can get lucky, right? That high school kid could have like the day of his life,
right,
and end up, beating you. So you try to avoid those situations.
And it would discredit the sport.
And you're absolutely right. But you can't discount the money.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we are talking about money, Mayweather.
That's right. That's right.
And the reason why we participate in sports and entertainment and we earn a living and everything else, we love the sport, we love what we do, but make no mistake about it, we do it for the money too.
Last question. Kyrie Irving, your guy.
Yes.
Is gone from Cleveland. He's with the Boston Celtics. Isaiah Thomas, your guy,
yes,
is with Cleveland, playing with LeBron James. How did you feel about that trial? Not just about who got the better end of it, because I think both of them won in their own respects, but how did you feel about the fact that it had to happen?
I hate that it happened to both of them, because both of them are very special people in my eyes. And I've had conversations with Isaiah. I've also, texted a little bit with Kyrie back and forth. The thing that people don't realize is that both those guys, again, are really good guys. And Isaiah is hurt. Isaiah right now is emotionally hurt because he gave his all to the Boston Celtics organization.
Yeah.
And this was really a gut punch to him.
Yeah.
He's doing his press conference today, flying back to Seattle, trying to get his kids situated where they're going to go to school at. All this stuff is happening away.
While wondering whether or not he's going to get a max deal after this season with his hip injury. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a lot for him to be hit with, but emotionally, Stephen A., he's just hurt, from a love standpoint, because he loved the Boston Celtics. And he gave his all to that organization.
Did they betray him, or was it just business on their part because they didn't want to give up $177 million next summer?
It was both. It was a betray, and it was also business. And unfortunately, that's how it goes in all sport. Now, the betray part is that, it was a gut punch. It was like, he woke up one morning and he got sucker punched. He didn't see it coming. Nobody saw it coming. And had he been prepared for it, then it's different. See, Kyrie was prepared for it. He had some months. He had made the request, so forth and so on. So emotionally, and I know nobody want to talk about the players' feelings, their emotional, their personhood, and everything else. But having the relationships that I have with both of these guys, that's where I go to how they feeling and what they dealing with.
Proud of you, my man.
Proud of you.
What's this? What's this again? Say it again.
Sherline Champagne.
Sherline Champagne.
Sherline.com. You can order online at wine.com, and it's blowing up. Get it. Isaiah Thomas Champagne Producer of the Year.
There we go.
Come on, man. Last time I was pouring some champagne on my head, I was in the Portland locker room, or was it the Laker locker room? It was one of them locker rooms.
It was Portland.
Yeah, well,
it was Portland.
I knew which one it was, but I just had to get that dig.
I would have loved for y'all to win a title at home. On your home court. That would have been special in Detroit.
No, we always wanted to win on the road because we were the bad boys. We wanted to win in your house. We wanted to come in, take your food, you know.
I got you.
You know, drink your drink, you know, play in your gym and take your fans.
Here's the beauty of Isaiah Thomas. When you were pouring that champagne on yourself, your hairline was still the same. Mine has gone back about 6 feet, but that's neither here nor there. Appreciate you, baby.
But you got that money.
not your kind of money. Not your kind of money. Isaiah Thomas right here with Stephen A. ESPN Radio 866-729-ESPN. That's 866-729-3776. More of your calls in a minute. It's the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio.
Give Stephen A. piece of your mind.
He is sorry.
Call him weekdays from 1 till 3 Eastern.
I mean, just trash.
At 866-729-3776.
Guess what?
You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it.
Welcome back to Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. Let's get to the phones. Close out the hour at 866-729-ESPN. It's 866-729-3776. Let's go to Donald in L.A. You're live with Stephen A. What's going on, Donald?
Hey, Donald. Hey, Stephen A. Thank you. I'm looking at the fight. I think it's going to be Mayweather in 7. I think he's probably going to toy with him. And I think McGregor will probably punch himself out and wear himself out, and then Mayweather just take him apart. And actually, I think he'll knock him out in 7.
Well, I don't have a problem with the knockout in 7 prediction. I have a problem with you thinking that McGregor's going to wear himself out, because McGregor does not do that. It's wear and tear. He's very, very patient. He doesn't go in there and do an abundance of work. He doesn't do that. So I'm not going to go that route. I would tell you I think that ultimately he's somebody. Mayweather should win this in 6 or 7, in my opinion. I'm going with 6, but I don't knock your prediction. Or I'm just saying that I don't think it's because McGregor's going to punch himself out. I think it's because he's going to get schooled, and he's going to be getting hit with everything that Mayweather wants to hit him with.
I agree with that.
Excellent.
Stephen, real quickly, you said something that was actually very profound. I think it was either yesterday or the day before. As you said something to another black gentleman, and you said that if white people were being persecuted like blacks are by the police, would a black person do anything? I just thought that was profound, and I hope that somebody else picks it up that is not in a sports entertainment type setting and actually discuss that, because I think that's profound. I hope somebody gives you credit for that as well.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Donald. Thanks so much, buddy. I got to run now, though, but thank you so much. Let's go to Jay in Manhattan. You're live with Stephen A. What's going on, Jay?
Hey, Stephen A. I feel that McGregor is going to do a legal move. He's going to maybe bite Mayweather's ear or put him in a chokehold.
Come on, bro. I mean, that's just disrespectful. I mean, I wouldn't even accuse I'm saying I wouldn't. No. I'm just talking about what you specifically said. I mean, if you told me an MMA move like he hit the guy with an elbow or something, that's different. You literally called up on this show and you're saying that McGregor's going to bite Mayweather's ear? Come on, bro. He's done nothing that would warrant you accusing him of such a thing, that he would do such a thing like that. Come on, bro. That's a bit excessive, Jay. I wouldn't disrespect McGregor like that.
Sideshow. I mean, this is going to be a black eye for sports, and that's going to be for boxing. If boxing doesn't fit what it's doing, people are just going to just tune off. That's my opinion.
I got you. I appreciate it, man. You're entitled to it. I think it's ignorant, but you're entitled to it. Let's go to Tony in Long Beach. You're live with Stephen A. What's up?
How's it going? Stephen A., this is about the fight. I believe that McGregor is going to win via Superman punch, and Floyd's going nighty-night. And you're going to be talking about it.
You an MMA fan?
I'm both. I'm a fighting fan.
You're a boxing
I
fan,
love it
too?
all
All right, but you don't like Mayweather, do you?
Hey, I love Mayweather. He's a good. Mayweather is a good fighter, but he's not an ultimate fighter.
Let me ask you a
question. Superman punch.
Stop right there. So your belief is that if you're a UFC fighter, because I do understand those who believe that UFC fighters are just better fighters because you're more fighters, you're more versatile, you can do more things. There's no problem. The problem is that this is a boxing match and all of those other maneuvers are illegal. So it strictly has to be about your fist, which is why I'm shocked that you're saying what you're saying.
Via Superman punch, mark my words. Flying punch to the face, he's out.
Okay. Appreciate the call. Cam in Texas, you're live with Stephen A. Real quick, Cam, go ahead.
Hey, Stephen, thanks for taking my call. Hey, just a few things. I'll make a few quick points and just kind of
You only got 40 seconds. You only got 40 seconds.
Okay, I got you. Okay. The weight difference, Conor cut the weight. He's going to come in about 170 tomorrow night. So the weight with the power, I think he's a little faster than what Canelo was. But the main thing is that Mayweather is used to seeing conventional punches from boxers coming from the dedicated angles that boxers throw from. And McGregor's going to be bringing some punches from areas that he's not quite used to seeing. And then the last thing I'll say is that McGregor is used to defending those 8 weapons, the takedowns, the kicks, the knees. This fight, he only has to focus on the hands. So I think his defense is going to be better than some people give it.
I got you. I understand what you're saying. Where you lose me is when you think that Conor McGregor is faster than Canelo Alvarez. I don't think you know what the hell you're talking about there. You went too far with that. Conor McGregor is not faster than Canelo as a fighter. Hour number 2 up next. Stephen A., ESPN Radio.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM Channel 80 and the ESPN app.
It's all-pro tight end Rob Gronkowski. And nothing fuels my patented Gronk Spike like all-natural Alberto beef jerky. Lean beef, slow-cooked, and seasoned to perfection. It's all-natural and all-delicious. Don't take a chance with some wimpy snack. Go with protein-packed, all-natural Alberto beef jerky.
Alberto beef jerky. You get out what you put in.
Refers to Alberto's all-natural line of beef jerkies. Minimally processed, no artificial ingredients.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
I'm Stephen A. No, I just finished talking to a lovely young lady. Her name is Megan. She hosts a show in New York City on the FM channel, and was asking me about the Mayweather fight, but also got into how people were coming up to her and talking about the issue of domestic violence. And, you know, obviously that's been well chronicled on the Undefeated, the African-American website sponsored by ESPN. They've got an article about that right now. I think it's important to recognize this fact. Regardless of how we want to slice it, what it comes down to is this. That's a part of Mayweather's past. It can't be ignored. And there are some people that believe, why bring that up now? It's the mega fight tomorrow night. Why do that? Or the mega exhibition. Why do that? Because, damn it, it involves domestic violence. And we're living in a time and place in our society right now where the level of sensitivity to such an issue is appropriately heightened. So we can't condemn folks who don't want to let it go. Because, damn it, it happened. It's just that simple. And that's a part of his past that's going to stay with him forever, even though the last incident in question took place back in 2010. But with all of that being said, here's my issue. You know, people talk about, well, you know, you're covering him. Well, every journalist covers him. I cover him, Showtime, HBO. You know, he's laughing it up on Jimmy Kimmel and whatever. You know, we, as a society, we have to make it our point to highlight folks' transgressions when they make them. But if there gets to a point where they've moved beyond that, we have to make individual decisions as to whether or not we're willing to let them move beyond it or not. In the case of Mayweather, some people feel like he hasn't shown enough contrition, that he categorically denies his guilt in any way, highlights the fact that there's no photographic evidence to indict him in any way, and he leans on that, which is insulting to a bevy of women and a lot of men as well, and they take it from there. That's the mentality. For me, the questions have been asked and answered. And that's how it is. And he went to jail, and he paid his debt, and if we got a problem with the system in question, do something to address it. Why is it that he was accused of, and in some cases convicted of such transgressions in the past, but he wasn't thrown in jail then? Why did the system let him off? Why did the city of Las Vegas let him off? These are the kind of questions I think are legitimate questions to ask. And I don't have any problem with anybody delving deep to that level and asking themselves that. But in the end, that's what it comes down to. Everybody's got their own belief system. Everybody feels what they feel. And in the end, that's what it is. So you can make the decision what direction you want to go in or whatever the case may be. But I know this much. Whether it's Mike Tyson with Broadway or a host of other individuals that have made transgressions, or even in the case of Floyd Money Mayweather, every time somebody has an opportunity to make money off these guys, they do it. So we can have folks lamenting his past transgressions all they want to, and it's valid. But if you're going to condemn folks, make sure to condemn the folks making the money off of him too. Because if the money wasn't there to be made, they wouldn't do it, and they're doing it despite what their moral compass may be. There's guilt all over the place. No one is more guilty than him, though, based on what he was convicted of and served time for. That is undeniable. But sometimes folks walk around here like they want folks to get a death sentence. And I'm like, okay. But what if they don't get it? What would you suggest? You think Mayweather should be banned from the sport of boxing? You think he should never be allowed to fight again? You think Las Vegas cares whether Mayweather fights because of Mayweather? They don't care. They care whether Mayweather fights or not because of the money he brings to the city. That's what they care about with all of these athletes. And at the heart of the matter, in the end, what we're really saying is we hate the fact that athletes get away with stuff that the average person doesn't. I got news for you. Anybody who makes money for an abundance of people gets away with stuff the average person cannot. I don't care what it is. It's very unpopular to say, but it's the truth. And unfortunately, on far too many occasions, women end up being victimized because of that, which is why I don't have a problem with any woman willing to stand up and speak out against such transgressions and never letting it go. I don't have a problem with it. Just understand that people who are making money off these folks are not going to feel the way that you do. Because they ain't caught up in morals. They're caught up in dollars. And that may be wrong. But it is the American way. And beyond. It's just the truth. 866-729-ESPN. It's 866-729-3776. Outside of that, I didn't really want to get into LaShawn McCoy talking about Colin Kaepernick, because I think LaShawn McCoy is right to some degree. It really is about business. If Colin Kaepernick was Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees or Big Ben Roethlisberger or somebody that was that wouldn't compromise the bottom line, that would contribute to the bottom line, they'd find a way to take care of them. They'd find a way. They ain't, because they don't believe that Colin Kaepernick is worth the headache that he'll cost. Slice it any way you want to. Once again, whether it's Mayweather, whether it's Colin Kaepernick, two extremes. Because Colin Kaepernick has never been associated with the stuff that Mayweather has been associated with. In the end, it comes down to the money. It's appalling in some people's eyes. But in some instances, some would say until you get the check. Then after that, you ain't got much of a problem with it. That's what people think. That's what people say. I ain't talking about myself. I'm talking about others. 866-729-ESPN. Let's go to the phones. Eric in the Bronx, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
Hey, Stephen A., how are you? I have to disagree with you regarding the conditioning of McGregor.
Okay.
I think mentally it's a big difference going to a boxing ring. He's going to go in there for the first 4 rounds like a Krug trying to knock out Mayweather. But mentally, when he cannot hit Mayweather, it's going to play a trick on him, and he's going to get tired, and he's going to be frustrated. It's going to be like the Sugar Ray Leonard Roberto Duran fight, how Duran got mentally frustrated, and he's just going to give up. and also with the.
So you think he's going to quit?
Gloves.
Hold on, tell me. You think he's going to quit? You think he's going to quit?
Mentally, yes.
Okay.
Because he can't hit him.
All right. See, I think that he'll get rough and rugged and get disqualified before he actually quits. That's what I suspect. But that's me.
Catch the Stephen A. Smith Show live on 98.7 ESPN New York, ESPN LA 710, and Sirius XM Channel 80.
You just can't make this stuff up.
Weekdays from 1 to 3 Eastern.
Okay, keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
I want to show you my first ever painting.
All right.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Oh, that's a lot of colors and shapes.
So be honest. What do you think?
Well, I like how if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Here, why don't I hold your paintbrush while you call them?
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Live from Vegas, Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. This is how we do it. 866-729-ESPN. That's 866-729-3776. Back to the phones we go. Let's go to Chris in L.A. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Stephen A. Real quick, this is off topic, but you mentioned something on First Take today regarding Russell Westbrook. The young lady asked about Russell Westbrook being the highest paid, and you mentioned Steph Curry being number 3. I would have to disagree. I would put Kawhi because I believe he's more valuable and he's a champion. But that's off topic of debate for another day. As far as hold on. You're saying Kawhi is more. You're saying Kawhi is more valuable than Steph? Yes, I do. Well, first of all, he is from the standpoint that he's a more complete player because he plays on both ends and he accepts the toughest defensive assignment night in and night out. So that is true. The flip side to it, however, is that Steph Curry is box office. Yes, and the system that Golden State runs that makes their offense such a juggernaut, they would never be able to pull off without Steph Curry. I agree, 100%. So the system has to work. I agree, Stephen A. I agree. That's a debate for another day. We'll talk about that in the debate. But real quick, I have a quick question for you. So as far as the fight going on tomorrow, what do you think is more likely to happen? Do you believe it goes 12 rounds in a close fight, or McGregor hits Floyd with something that may hurt him? What do you think is more likely to happen? I think what's more likely to happen is that Floyd gets hit with something that hurts him, and then he's awakened even more and then destroys Conor. Okay. All right, we'll see, Stephen A. Appreciate it. Thanks for taking my call. Thanks a lot, man. No problem. Let's go to Sal in Brooklyn. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Sal? Talk to me. Stephen A., all the love, buddy. All the love. You know that, brother. Hey, no doubt. Real quick with this fight, I'm glad you brought out those issues on Mayweather because that's what makes a lot of people not like him. And this is where you have to separate the person you like from the profession that what he does. You have to respect everything this guy does in the ring. And honestly, these promoters that control boxing, that's what's making this sport fall by the wayside the way it is. Conor McGregor has absolutely zero chance of even touching this guy in the ring, Stephen. I follow boxing my whole life. This guy is the upper echelon of boxing where real champions couldn't touch him. And I know it's a money grab. God bless him that he could make it. People want to get mad all they can. God bless him. People are paying for it. There's no gun to their head to make them buy it. But this is just, to me, it's embarrassing for boxing that McGregor even has a shot where you got guys leaving their blood, guts, and heart that can't even get a match. Well, you can't say it's hold on, Sal. You can't say it's embarrassing for boxing. It's embarrassing if Floyd loses for boxing. But if Floyd doesn't lose, it's embarrassing because, this is any sport. The reality of the situation is that somebody who has not paid their dues shouldn't be allowed in the ring with a champion. Shouldn't be allowed on a court with a champion. Shouldn't be allowed on the field with a champion. If you are a high school player and you can't even get a college scholarship, how do you belong on the field with Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers? But if you are a basketball player, that you're in high school, how do you belong on the court with LeBron James? Right. You see, it's not just an NBA. It's a Hall of Famer, the upper echelon. So I'm not saying he got no business, but
he's got no shot. If anybody thinks this guy's walking in with a one-punch knockout, people, you know nothing about the game. I'm sorry. I'm not insulting anybody, but real champions couldn't touch this guy. That's how great his defense is. You can hate him all you want. He's got some issues out of the ring. You know, I don't like when he burns money when there's people starving for food. That's my thing.
Neither do I. I don't like, and you know what? Listen, there's a few things I don't like. I don't like Floyd's history. I don't like the way he flaunts his money. I don't like a lot of things. But the bottom line is I can easily separate that from the greatness of his boxing skills. And if I'm covering a boxing match, then that's what I'm covering. We ain't going to dinner together. We ain't exchanging Christmas gifts. You know, but I'm covering this damn match, and I'm here in part because of his greatness and to see what somebody else is going to be capable of doing against him. That is the issue at hand, and that is what can't be ignored. Appreciate the call, Sal. Thank you so much. Ernie and Cali, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A. You know, I completely disagree with the last caller. I think Conor has more than a puncher's chance. You got to take into consideration his weird footwork. I mean, you see those videos of him doing the Conor McGregor challenge and how he moves around. Had Manny Pacquiao moved around like that, Manny would have had a way better chance. And then also, Conor, he's got the mental game on lock. I mean, the mental game.
No, stop right there. Ernie, you're full of it. You're full of it. I'm calling shade on your argument from that last point right there. How dare you bring up poise when it comes to him going in the ring against Mayweather? Who has shown more poise than him? Nobody. Now, if you're talking about a fighter that gets erratic and starts swinging wildly and doing stupid stuff and will get into a slugfest and doesn't use his head and all of that other stuff, you'd have an argument. But you can't call up here and make an argument about poise and give it to Conor McGregor in favor of Floyd Money Mayweather, who's 49-0. You are smoking something if you're doing that. That is nonsense, Ernie, and you know it.
Maidana went into the ring. When Marcos Maidana went into the ring with Floyd Mayweather, he came at him from every angle. And then Adrian Broner, who's supposed to fight like Floyd Mayweather, Marcos, that game plan worked on Adrian Broner. And
So what are we going to do now? Are we going to compare Broner to Mayweather? Stop it, Ernie. You're not making any sense. Your argument is weak. You're not making any sense. He does not compare to Money Mayweather, A. B, Marcos Maidana is still a professional boxer. We're talking about boxing here. We're not talking about fighting. And number three, you can't go the argument of poise because, look, McGregor's got 3 losses. McGregor lost 3 fights ago to Nate Diaz. So why are you walking around talking about poise? We saw what happened. He tapped out.
The point
Come on, Ernie.
Conor has more of a puncher's chance. I think Floyd's going to win, but I think we're under.
Oh, so now you think they're going to win. Come on now. You know good and damn well the only chance Conor McGregor has is a puncher's chance. The puncher's chance. If he connects in any way, Floyd, it could be trouble. No doubt about it. But that's the only thing we're talking about here. You need to stop, and you know it. Let's go to Kurt and Cali. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Kurt?
I think that Floyd has ultimately made a career out of the shoulder roll and being able to maneuver around the ring.
Okay.
I think that he's a great technical fighter. I think that, he's really good. But I think that if Conor comes in there and smothers him, I say Floyd goes down in the second round. I think that if he smothers him and he doesn't let him do that shoulder roll, and he cuts off the ring. Look at the history with Maidana, with even Victor Ortiz. You can make a valid argument when he cut off the ring on Mayweather. He started to show some success. And I think that Conor's going to go in with the same idea.
You mean when Victor Ortiz was not headbutting him?
Or you can make a valid argument when Floyd Mayweather wasn't cheap shotting him. I mean, it's either way.
Hold on. Floyd Mayweather cheap shotted him after he got headbutted several times.
Yeah, but you play one bad for another.
No, I'm just explaining what happened. I'm not justifying anything. I'm simply saying just tell it the way it happened. It wasn't like Floyd Mayweather was cheating and Victor Ortiz cheated. Victor Ortiz kept headbutting him. And so if you keep headbutting somebody, you're getting away with it. You're going to soften them. So the second he dropped his guard, Floyd Mayweather popped him because he got getting headbutted. That's not a part of it. And I pray to God that Conor McGregor does not headbutt Floyd because that might knock Floyd out. A headbutt from Conor McGregor might knock Floyd out. I would tell you right now he'd get disqualified, but that would be a knockout. I can't imagine Floyd Mayweather being able to take a headbutt from that head, which is of Conor McGregor. I'm just looking at the poster right now. That's a huge head on Conor McGregor. That's one huge head there. And I've seen Floyd wince from headbutts and all of that other stuff. And by the way, tangling with Conor McGregor, he doesn't want to do that. Because if he tangled with Conor McGregor, then that's playing into Conor McGregor's hands. He doesn't want to do that, doesn't need to do that. But purely, strictly boxing, he should get picked apart. It should be easy. Nothing to say about that.
One more thing, Stephen A. The Los Angeles Rams have 10 wins this year, guaranteed.
Excuse me?
Los Angeles Rams have 10 wins this year, guaranteed.
Kurt, I would like you to give me your full name and address so I can send the authorities to your house to drug test you immediately. You need to be arrested and drug tested. What was it, crack cocaine? Well, I mean, what the hell are you using this early? How do you? The Los Angeles Rams are going to win 10 games with Jared Goff as their quarterback? Is that what you just said?
You're going to go on the air and apologize when I call you back.
Please. You know what? I will be happy to. I will apologize to you profusely because it'll never happen. It'll never happen. Rams winning 10 games. What drug are you sniffing? What's today's date? August 25th? This is the date. Kurt from California. Which city are you in? Where can I send the authorities? You ain't making no damn sense. You ain't making no damn sense. Just stop it. Have a nice day. The Rams are going to win. The Rams are going to win 10 games. The Los Angeles Rams. And that just annoyed me. Go to break. I'll be back with more calls in a minute.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it. Back to the phones we go. Yeah, the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. Everybody, I'm looking at social media. I got mixed reviews. I got people saying I'm god-awful when I was dancing with the Jabberwockies today on First Take, and then I got others that said I got a few moves. I don't know. I ain't no damn dancer. I can tell you that much. I got a little rhythm, though. They can sit up there and play with me all they want to. I can go on the dance floor. Now, I ain't going to go on Dancing with the Stars, but I can go on the dance floor and do a little something. All you got to do is listen to Will Smith in the movie Hitch when he was talking to Kevin James, stay in one place. Don't move. Stay in one place. That's all. That's all you got to do. I can hold on to that, and I'm totally cool. I'm straight. No doubt about it. I love how they sit up there and say this, though. Oh, they did it for the ratings. You know, ESPN's ratings challenged and all this. First Take's not ratings challenged. Last time I checked, I don't think First Take was ratings challenged. I think we're doing quite well. Just wanted to throw that out there. Notice radio show's doing quite well too. Just wanted to throw that out there. I'm just saying. Just saying. Back to the phones we go. Garrett and Cali, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Yeah, hi. Real quick.
Yes.
Mayweather's going to win, but we want to see McGregor win because then it means that's an entertaining fight. But beyond that, Colin Kaepernick, racism, you can't say that. 70% plus of the league is black, and it has nothing to do with race. The leader in the ring can't be the dumbest.
Hold on. Stop it! I'm trying to ask you a question. How is it that you can't say that just because the league is 70% black? What does that have to do with what's happening to Colin Kaepernick?
That's just one individual. It's one sample. That doesn't represent the population.
Hold on. So what about the issue? See, this is how people like you, Garrett, get folks in trouble. Because you're trying to gloss over something. You know good and damn well it's not about the numbers in this particular situation. It's about the issue of kneeling for the national anthem. You know good and well that you could be 90% black as a league. That still does not mean that because he took that position that an owner or owners collectively aren't going about the business of ostracizing him. You are too smart for that, Garrett. And that's where you get yourself in trouble because you're smart and you know better, which means that you're trying to come across ignorant on purpose. And it's not flying. You know good and damn well what's happening to Colin Kaepernick don't have anything to do with whether the league is 70% black, 90% black, or 50% black. It's about him kneeling for the national anthem and people wanting to send a message that we are not going to allow you all to conduct yourself in this fashion and compromise our bottom line. You trying to tell me you don't know that, Garrett?
I just think of someone like Jim Brown or more of a smart, more powerful in the field. And he didn't kneel. The first time he sat back, relaxed, like he's kicking back. That in itself is disrespectful. He kneeled like they're doing what I like what they're doing right now. They're sitting in a huddle, they're kneeling, and they're together. And some people are standing, some people are not. I'm okay with that. I just think the leader can't be the dumbest guy in the room, and unfortunately I think Colin Kaepernick is.
So you think Colin Kaepernick is dumb?
I just don't think he's the smartest individual. I really don't. I think if there was a more prominent leader in the league, more powerful.
Well, I'm not gonna knock you for that because there's plenty of people that don't believe that he's that smart. That's a fair statement for you to make. I disagree with you, but it's a fair conclusion for you to have because a lot of people have that it wasn't the smartest thing in the world for him to do. That part makes sense. I can understand.
It's just how he did it. He wasn't kneeling. He was kicking back.
Listen. A protest, Garrett. Garrett, is a protest supposed to make you comfortable? Is a protest supposed to make you comfortable?
But
so, okay, you didn't like it and it was uncomfortable. Isn't that the purpose of a protest?
I think if it's done in a good fashion, people.
Oh, so a protest is supposed to be done in a good fashion. A good fashion. Well, so a protest is supposed to make you happy.
No, well, maybe it does. Maybe it does protest.
Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Maybe it does. Maybe a protest is supposed to make you happy. Really? I'm supposed to continue to listen to that? Mel in Queens, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, Stephen A.? I keep hearing everybody saying, how did McGregor get into the ring with Mayweather? And we got to understand, certain things I look at is different. Even though it's boxing, it's a form of entertainment as well. He is a fighter. But he's box office in his sport. If he wasn't box office in his sport, there was no way that Mayweather would have gotten in the ring with him. But the money made sense, the fan, we see what it's doing right now. So we've seen why Mayweather is in the ring with him. What it reminds me of when they do these cross sports or people shouldn't have been in the ring. Remember back in the days when we had the wrestling in WWF and they had Hulk Hogan going up against a Zeus or a Mr. T, guys who wasn't trained like entertainer wrestlers, but they got in the ring and people were watching. It was entertainment. All this is just entertainment. People just watching to see, okay, what could it be if you did mix the sports? So if anything, I would say McGregor is the guinea pig. We know he's going to lose, but if he happened to go a couple rounds and look decent, then maybe somebody else down the line might have a chance or opportunity as well. That's all it is.
I got you. I appreciate the call, Mel. Thank you so much. 866-729-ESPN. Let's go to Angel in Long Island. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Angel?
Stephen A., what's going on, buddy? First off, I'm just going to say Mayweather at 5. I know you said about 6 or 7. I think that's a little bit, too much. I think Mayweather's going to take care of it. Another thing when I want to touch is that I'm concerned. I'm hoping this fight is not just all hype and we get another Pacquiao, Mayweather, boring fight and no action or nothing. So I'm hoping that goes through. And the only guy that ever knocked down Mayweather was Zab Judah. That fight was 2006, which was awesome, So I'm just hoping we got a good fight,
I got you. I appreciate it. You know what? I don't know if a good fight is good for boxing. If this is tougher than most opponents Mayweather has faced, how does that make boxing look? Just a thought. Joe in Brooklyn, you're live with Stephen A.
Stephen A., how you doing? If Conor McGregor is to win this fight, why is this not the greatest upset for sports, period?
Go ahead. I don't understand what you're saying, sir.
If Conor McGregor wins this fight, it's not going to happen, but let's say he does. Why is it not the greatest upset in sports history? In sports. Not just boxing,
okay.
Sports.
So you don't think it would be the greatest upset in the history of boxing?
No.
Is that what you're telling
me? The greatest upset in sports, in all sports.
Okay.
In the whole sports world.
You might have a point. I don't know. I really don't know right now. We shall see. 866-729-ESPN. More to Stephen A. Smith Show. Your calls close out the show in a minute.
Want to be a part of the show? Hit Stephen A. up weekdays from 1 to 3 Eastern at 866-729-3776.
Guess what?
You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it!
Let's go to Aaron in Alabama. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Aaron? How are you?
Hey, Stephen A., long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
Hey, real quick, how much of an impact, if any, do you think the 8-ounce gloves are going to have in the fight, considering that with the bigger boxing gloves, you tend to be able to absorb more damage over a long period of time, as opposed to the MMA gloves, which are smaller, and when you get hit and knocked down, a ref is more likely to stop a fight quickly in an MMA fight than in a boxing match.
Well, 8 ounces are more cushiony than the 4 ounces. So in that regard, it's worse for McGregor, but it's better for McGregor to have the 8 ounce than the original 10 ounce they had agreed to. So that's the way I look at it. In the end, Floyd still has the advantage because he is accustomed to wearing 8 ounce gloves, which is what he does primarily throughout his career. In the case of McGregor, however, it did help that they lowered the obligation and the stipulation from 10 ounces to 8 ounces.
Yeah, I agree. So, and by the way, I think Mayweather in 6. So,
thank you. That's what I picked. Mayweather in 6. We'll see what happens. Let's go to Brendan from Pennsylvania. You're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A. How you doing? Big fan.
I'm
Just
all right.
wanted to
Thank you. Go
touch
ahead.
base with you. Hey, man, you guys are killing me with calling this thing a fight between McGregor and Mayweather.
No,
It's a
we're not calling it a fight. We're not calling it a fight. We're saying
Everybody's talking about it. But it's an event. It's like watching WWF,
Sir,
not
you're not
even
understanding.
WrestleMania 4.
I am not going to let you continue if you continue to lie to people. They're not calling it a fight. They're calling it an exhibition. We're just saying that he has a puncher's chance because that's all he has. He should get destroyed. Everyone's called it an exhibition. So if you got a point to make sure it's accurate. People are not calling it a fight. That's not true.
You guys aren't, but everybody is calling in this McGregor fight, this Mayweather fight. It's an event. But I don't even think he has a puncher's chance. If Mayweather doesn't want to get hit, he's not going to get hit. I mean, listen, they both pimp themselves out for the money, but let's call it what it is. It's an event. It's a spectacle. It's not even an exhibition because McGregor's not a boxer.
So you stayed on hold this long because you wanted to make sure to say that it was an event, not a fight.
Absolutely.
That's all you got? That's all you got? That's all you got? It's an event. It's not a fight. Okay, you want a cookie? Now what else? What else do you have to say? That's it? All that time to make that point? When we know that it's an event? You ain't got nothing else to say, Brendan?
Anybody else? I'm just stating the obvious.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your call. Thank you very much. You waited that long to state the obvious. Congratulations. More power to you. Craig in Iowa, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Stephen A., thanks. I wanted to tell you I appreciate your objectivity, and I think that your honesty kind of came through. For me, I started to call in to argue for McGregor, and you've changed my opinion throughout the show because the facts are the facts, and they stand true. You have a boxer, and you have a gentleman that's never been in that world, and I think if we, despite what we want or what we may want to see happen, the facts are the facts. And I just wanted to say thank you for that and being honest and objective and putting that out there for the listener. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Craig. Appreciate the call, buddy. Thank you. Let's go to Raymond in Ohio. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Raymond? How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Stephen A.?
Go ahead, man.
Stephen A., I want to just make a quick point. I'm a contractor. I do a little bit of everything, sheet rock, drywall, etc. Now, if I was just a plumber, I'd be a professional expert plumber. But I do a little bit of everything. The point is, McGregor, while he was training, doing push-ups, scrabbling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, or whatever he was doing, Mayweather was in boxing. That's what he do. He box. He don't wrestle. He don't kick. He don't choke, hold, none of that. He box. So, listen, Muhammad Ali go in the ring with Bruce Lee, it won't be a fight. You know what I'm saying? Karate. But if that was a karate expedition, as you call it, this is not going to be a fight. You know, it's going to be a show, of course, but this is a boxing match. not MMA. And once again, Mayweather boxed. That's all he done all his life. So I have to give it to the expert in what this fight is.
I got you. I got you. Yeah. I got you. I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much, Raymond. Let's go to Billy Queens. You're live with Stephen A. What's up? What's up, Bill?
Good afternoon, Steve. Thanks for taking my call. First, I want to give you credit because you're the only guy who everybody says Conor McGregor's not even going to touch him. You're at least saying, hey, listen, he's stepping into the ring. He's got the puncher's chance. Everything points in the direction of Floyd Mayweather. There's no question about it. He's the boxer. But I heard Dana White say this yesterday, and it stuck in my head, which is the difference, and it could be a blessing or a curse. Floyd Mayweather is coming to a boxing match. Conor McGregor is coming to a fight. And that could get sloppy, and that's where he gets tagged, and it's all over. Floyd Mayweather puts him away. But if he's calculated, I'm not saying that Floyd Mayweather is going to lose. I think that if you're going to put money on it, you'd be foolish not to bet Mayweather. But I just think to discard Conor McGregor, I don't know. I think that if he's going to do it, he has to do it quick. And if not, it's over. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks a lot. You got a lot of people that think he has to do it quick. You got a lot of people that are looking at Conor McGregor and saying his only shot is to take Floyd out early because as the fight wanes, Conor, his chances increase. My attitude is this. Floyd is accustomed to going 12 rounds. Floyd knows exactly what to do to discipline himself and position himself to be at peak level and peak performance. And if Conor McGregor is starting out saying, I honestly don't believe he's going to last past 4 rounds, and then he modifies that by saying, I think I may take him out in 2. Is Conor McGregor, who fights from the UFC and usually has 5-minute rounds, okay, is he equipped to go 12 rounds? Is he capable of doing that? These are all legitimate questions to ask. Robert in Atlanta, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A. Smith, love the show, man. I just want to make my comment about Mayweather-McGregor fight. I think Mayweather's taken him out in 5-6 rounds, but my big question is, why isn't anybody talking about the Gervonta Davis fight? I think that's going to be the better fight before the McGregor-Mayweather fight. Just wanted to hear your opinion on it.
Which flight is this that will be better than Mayweather-McGregor?
No, the undercard fight. I think there's a Gervonta Davis fight before.
Yeah, Gervonta. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to who he was fighting because as of 2 weeks ago, he didn't have an opponent. I like Gervonta Davis. Met him for the first time a few weeks ago when I went to interview Floyd, by the way. He's 18-0. He's got 17 KOs. The competition that he's going against has been somewhat suspect, but you can't take away from what you've seen from him. He's got a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to seeing him continue to fight. I don't know if he's ready for Lomachenko yet. I want him to maintain discipline. I want him to continue doing the kind of things he's capable of doing, but to keep in mind that Lomachenko's the real deal. Ain't no getting around that. And that's something you definitely got to pay attention to. Appreciate the call, though. Tom in Jersey, you're live with Stephen A. Go ahead, Tom.
Hey, Stephen A. Thanks for taking the call. How you doing?
I'm all right. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, there's a lot of takes on the McGregor-Mayweather fight. Here's one of my big takes is that this proves that boxing is still alive, it's still vibrant, and if Mayweather was going into the octagon, I don't think there would be nearly the amount of interest as there is with McGregor coming into boxing. So there's been a lot of.
But is that because of boxing, or is it because Mayweather is fighting and Conor McGregor is going over to his domain? I mean, this wouldn't be as big of a deal if he was fighting somebody else other than Mayweather.
I think really what it boils down to is
it about boxing or is it about Mayweather's what I'm asking?
I mean, I'm 59 and a half years old. I've been through, the whole boxing gamut. That sport is the premier pugilistic sport in the world. And the MMA, as a lot of the younger people are saying, boxing is dead. Boxing is nowhere near dead. It's still the premier pugilistic sport. And I think this event really proves that.
Well, let's be clear. Let me say 2 things before I let you get on out of here, Tom. Well, actually, I don't have time because we got to get on out of here. But thank ESPN for putting boxing on free TV again, too. Let's keep that in mind. Enjoy the weekend. Mayweather in 6. Talk to you Monday. Peace and love.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM Channel 80 and the ESPN app.